Rachel, this Kawhi Leonard-led team takes their cues from him. He is expressionless. He's emotionless, it would appear. And what's interesting to me is it seems to bleed into guys like Fred VanVleet, some of the younger guys that you think maybe they might be ripe for some, a little bit of let the emotions get the best of them or whatever else. That doesn't happen. Is he the tone setter completely for this group?
Yeah, it's so interesting because, Scott, we hear the term lead by example a lot. And I'll be honest, usually it's just kind of a cop-out for guys who aren't good vocal leaders. And they say, no, I lead by example. Kawhi Leonard actually leads by example, and there's so much strength in the power of how he moves through the world that these guys can't help but fall in line behind him. And yes, a guy like Fred VanVleet, who plays his heart out and is sort of that not too high, not too low guy because of Kawhi Leonard on the court, gets his teeth knocked out. Now, he sort of had partial bits of 2 or 3 of his teeth. Yikes. He needed 7 stitches from all that blood he was letting loose on the court. And he said that as he was lying there, and I asked him, I said, gosh, you were kind of calm, right? Like, if you noticed, he wasn't motioning for anyone. He was just sort of blood gushing down his face. And he was like, yeah, well, I had the bits of teeth in my mouth, and I didn't want to accidentally swallow them. So I was just sort of washing them around in my mouth as I was waiting there. So that's a nice image I had to have, Scott, and I'm happy to share that with you.
Yeah, and
we noted to him that a piece of tooth had left on the court, and he was actually angry upon hearing that because he said, I could have used that. They could have put that back in my mouth. Now I have to go get replacements. So that's his mindset. He just wanted to get back out on the court. He was hurrying the doctors as they were stitching up his face. And he said, I just need to get back out there. And again, I think that is Kawhi related. I really do. And
our viewers, thank you as well for that visual of the man kind of holding his teeth in his mouth. Thank you.
I'm glad to.
Now, I'm curious about a Golden State team that looks they look spent, they look exhausted. The energy meter looks like it's awfully low. And I wonder, just emotionally, like, you're going to go on the road against a team that's giving it to you right now. Where do you think they are? Like, state of mind. What picture would you paint?
It's really interesting because there were certainly a number of guys who looked exactly like that in the locker room after the game. They were showering quickly. They just wanted to get out of there and go home, you could tell. But it's funny, each guy on this team knows he has his role. And Draymond Green, who has always been the emotional heartbeat of this team, I think knows that he can't be in that mode. Everyone else is just tired and wants to go home and start again tomorrow. He was walking around the arena, Scott, through the locker room, around the tunnels. He's shaking hands. He's smiling as if they were up 3-1. He's wearing the Dolce & Gabbana ensemble that he wore in here with the little windbreaker and the nylon shorts that are frankly too short for anyone to be wearing. And I'm telling you, he was like going through like, hey, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. And you heard Steph Curry in the press conference afterwards say, we've been on either side of this 3-1 thing. There's very few teams that have been involved at all in 3-1 series that have then gone the other way. But Golden State was part of a team that was down 3-1 to Oklahoma City. They came back and won that series, and of course, infamously up 3-1 to the Cavaliers in the finals and then lost. So they have experienced it firsthand 2 separate times. They do know and believe that it can happen to reverse it, and I do believe that Draymond sort of feels like it's his job to take his tired and kind of we just want to get this over with teammates and lift them back up by the time they get back out on that court on Monday.
Great stuff, Rachel. Appreciate it. Travel well. We'll talk again.